And then on the other side of things, Firstborn is nice and bright and celebratory and happy. And then on the other side of things, we have Wondering How, which explores a lot of darker elements and darker themes. So that's something I think, you hear the Firstborn and then Wondering How you're able to write and explore like something like rape or something like abuse and all these different things in an all equally powerful way. So how do you find mentally the different places you go?
Well, Wondering, I got that beat from a kid named Classified, and the guy David Miles did the chorus, and he flipped David Miles' vocals, and I was like, this isn't a RA type of track, but I like it so much.
Okay.
So I just picked up a pen and I started writing about myself again, and I started writing about my family and this, and I said, I think we kind of been there before. So if I do this, I'd want to explore that differently. But then I was like, nah, keep it as an intro, so the people that don't know who you are, here's a little 8 bars. So I gave them a little 8 bars about myself, but then I flipped it and turned it to a different world, where like the rape story was based on a true story. In real life, the woman didn't pass at the end, but like, I know somebody personally. And so I started writing a story about it. And I said, you know what? Yeah, this is real life. It doesn't have to be your life. There's tragedy in the world,
Mm-hmm.
And then the prescription pills in Long Island, Suffolk County, all the parents are addicted and, going when they can't get the pills no more, they start going into the heroin. So I told a story about the little boy Eric who went from his parents taking the pills to him being a heroin addict in the neighborhood and also loss of a child, which are all themes that I've, I have family doing heroin, brothers and sisters. I have, my family lost their 2 kids, and my sister lost a son. So they were all themes that I was familiar with, even though I fictionalized the story.
Mm.
I made a story out of all the themes that I was familiar with to write a strong story about a boy that doesn't exist in real life, but he does exist. There's
Right.
a lot of little Erics in the world. So. I think that one came out really nice, and it's not an expected RA record, I don't think. But
Yeah.
it's also not a one that you would, not like, wow, I can't believe he did it, But it's like, I don't want to make the same albums over, so I want to try to do, give them a little different, angles of this music, So.
And I think that's something about the project that really, one, the fact that it's long and a lot of, I'd say some people that are putting out albums now, they're either really short or really long. So I appreciated the fact that you had a lot of songs on it, but I also really appreciated that they weren't all in one lane.
Yeah.
And, I think when the few albums that you have put out, I think that is a hallmark of you, your versatility. And it was just great seeing that even now in 2020, that is still something that you're able to do. And on another extreme, getting to just a pure rap, braggadocio, hip-hop type of thing, one of my favorites is the Slayers song on there, and Slayers Club. And that one, I wanted you to talk about it for a lot of reasons. One, you have like Ice-T on there, you got Chino XL on there, you got brand Nubian on there, so it's a wide range.
M.O.P, Onyx, Vinny Paz.
It's such a wide range of artists, and there's so many, but the song isn't 12 minutes long. So how and why did you construct it to still be like a normal length, but have so many people?
Yeah, because I had them all do 8 bars,
Right.
And in fact, some of them handed me 16-bar verses, but I was like, I asked for 8 because, so I had to shorten some really great verses to make it not a 10-minute record, and so it still flowed nicely,
Right.
But Slayers Club, we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of stress making it though, because like it's a different era, so we weren't all in the studio at the same place.
Okay.
So certain vocals sound a little different. So Chris Conway, who's a master engineer, he's one of the best. He made it sound good. He put it all together with me.
He did.
And he made it sound like, we were all neck and neck, back and forth together. And that particular song has the kick drums production on it, it has C. Lance production on it, and it has my boy Chank's production on it. and we kind of just made it like a big mashup of just insanity and fight.
The mashup pasta.
And, yeah, and in fact, a lot of my rhymes, I always try to floss, you know, I'm better rapper than everybody, I'm a good rapper. But this particular song, it's like you had guys doing the real fast, going crazy. But this one, you know, I had brand Nubians going after me, I had Onyx before me, I have Ice-T on the third verse, so I didn't want to go flossy technical. I just wanted to kind of say some wow, because the whole song's about fighting and beating people up and stomping. I wanted an OG fight anthem, you know? So, and M.O.P. on the chorus. So this one, I kind of was like, lay it back and just kind of give them some murder bars. Boom, boom, boom. And then brand Nubian come on, jump up with Sadat. And I think it worked that way, you know? You don't always got to floss and show every, you know? So I think it was a nice record, yeah.
Yeah, and I think too, to your point, especially when Sadat X comes on, his is a little more slower, more subdued than everybody else.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good balance, because in that type of sonic environment, he definitely stood out for doing what Sadat X does, but it didn't sound like unusual per se.
Yeah, and it's the part that a lot of people talk about. Like when we went to mastering with Joe, he was like, oh, and that record when and brand Nubian come in, like, meanwhile, because the new school cats have this obsession with technicians, you know, like you have to be, like, they hate 80s hip hop because it was like too, you know, it wasn't, you know, complex enough. But like you talk to guys like Chuck and Chuck D, they tell you like, yo, like Run DMC was rocking stadiums, you know, Public Enemy's rocking stadiums. You know, if you're just doing technical rapping, that's not a stadium rocker. Nobody gives a fuck. Who's, you know? So it's okay, you could do technical, super technical. Like Tech Nine does super technical all day, but he has his whole show organized where he could stadium rock, you know?
Right.
But
and does an amazing job at it.
But let me tell you, I tell the story often, is I had a show in New York, and I had all the technical guys come down, and then I put the OGs on stage. So I had a couple of the young dudes, ferocious, technical, and then Grandmaster Caz does the OG shit, and his projection, you know, and he, I was like, because for a second I said, oh, maybe I should put him earlier because the technical guy, but nah, he outshined all the technical side of shit by just being precision and on point and vocally killing it.
Projecting his voice.
Projection, yeah, because he's an OG, incredible showman. So, you know, I think Sadat has that where you know, he comes on, you know, so you don't need to go too wild with a brand Nubian.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.